Alright. Welcome, 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 welcome. Make sure I click the right one. Welcome. Zombie underscore devil. Zombie devil stream. We're gonna draft for XLB1. Nothing new, right? But let us go and see how we do this time around. Been an interesting weekend, in the sense of you had the Phyrexia the arena open for Phyrexia LB1, sealed. A lot of the sealed decks, I think, in this. I don't know if it's arena or if it's just Phyrexia LB1, but a lot of the sealed decks are 3-color. I think that's just an arena thing. Probably not. Probably has nothing to do with sealed Phyrexia LB1. Not that I've played it, but let's get into this draft. Because I haven't. I've missed pre-release. I work on weekends because I work in sports, so there's a lot of weekends that just get bleh, eaten up, and that's just the way it is. I'm gonna do some dishes later, and probably continue to ignore my fiance. Nothing bad. It's just she works, and I'm just kind of a stay-at-home dad doing stuff around the house. So it's not me this time. Normally it's me who's just gonna hover, which I don't mind hovering. But I say this to be the last one for a while, not only because it's like, you gotta keep putting money in the slot machine, but also with very little reward in Arena versus MTGO. But it's a money thing. Like, half of it's a money thing, and half of it's just, I'm sure y'all are bored seeing it. And I'm actually curious about something, so even though we probably only played like 3 games, just by virtue of how things, you shouldn't take a multicolored card, but she can get out of control pretty quickly. So, especially if you have like a flyer. So it's gonna be the hero blade, well, the Bane of Blade Hold, not the hero blade, but the Blade Hold. Like, I like this card too, but again, it's like you don't really want to take a multicolored card as your first pick, and I mean, I don't really want a Magmatic Sprinter, and I certainly don't want to take Sting Highmaster. I don't think I do want to take him, like, if he wheels, but like as a first pick, no. So I think I'm just going to take the Bane of Blade Hold and, see how the rest shakes out. So, Cephalopod Sentry, if we wanted to keep ourselves open to, like, blue as a color, is actually not a bad card. And then you got the Skull Dweller and the Rat King. So Skull Dweller is where I'm gonna go. It's a 1/1 with Toxic and Death Touch. Like, you have it on turn 1, they're not gonna block you. You can get that early poison counter on, and then just see how the rest shakes out. I do like the Rat King, but we don't have. I mean, this is only pack 1, pick 2, but it hasn't shaken up in that direction. I mean, we'll see. But it is also a double black card, so maybe it wheels. Probably not, but you never know. Seed Core can make... If our opponent's corrupted, we can make this bigger. Or just a random might bigger. You can cast Phyrexian spells, so it's any color for a Phyrexian. I heard someone describe it as Cavernous Souls for Phyrexians, and it's like, well, it's technically not, because Cavernous Souls says can't be countered. I guess I take that one. I do think the Complete Devotion and maybe this draw spell are probably better. This can also increase the toxic count on something like an early 1-drop, or make like an Incisor Glider toxic. Speak of the devil. So I'm going to take the Incisor Glider. You'll see no argument from me on that one. And then there's nothing here for us. We can either cut white, cut the black guy, card, black card. It's actually a woman. Maybe we do take the Testament Bearer. Uh, like, I can cut this equipment from whoever took the equipment, because we passed it to take this instead. Or we can take it and keep ourselves open. Whatever. Let's just do it. We're just hosing someone else. And we got a Testament Bearer anyway. I'm not in love with the Lean and Lightbringer, so I'm just going to take the Testament Bearer. Who I'm not in love with either, but, you know. We'll get a Scrap Trap. I don't think we're... I don't think we're so set on a strategy. I mean, we are, but it's just like, take the Scrap Trap. It's a 4... Yeah, but it's a 5-drop, and how often are you actually going to cast it? Sure, it's a white card, one of 3 white cards in that pack. I just don't like Zealot's Conviction. And I don't think I've ever played one. I may have played it once. And I mean once. Well, Killamite and Proliferate is what that card says to me. I'm going to grab a tissue real fast. Real fast. Green is open, if you ask me. Certainly the green Toxic deck is open. So see, we got a Scrap Check. Another Testament Bearer. Black is also open, so I think green-black is open based on the signals that I'm seeing. But, selecting the Cleansing Raptor. Cleansing Raptor would be the take here. But I just need to grab a tissue from the other room, because my nose just started bleeding. Funny, because normally I'm getting up to pee every 5 seconds. But it's like, oh no, you guys don't have me getting up to pee every 5 seconds. Instead, you have me with a bloody nose today. I'm going to take the Skitterfang. I think I do like the double Skull Dweller, but I don't know, Skitterfang can jump something, and if we're... I mean, we determined, based on the Testament Bearers coming back, that black was fairly open. It's not perfect, but I mean, it's an open color. I think we want to be more toxic than Oil Counter shenanigans. Take the Annihilating Glare. Excuse me. I'm going to let the let it drain, let the clock drain just a hair more. Uh, it's the guy next to us anyway. It's always the guy next to us. Who's taking too long? Alright. Take it. Glare. Oh yeah. Anoint, baby. Anoint can get something big. Take the 6/6 and hope that we can get get the poison counters on. I mean, if they're corrupted, it gives it first strike, and first strike death touch is very good. That's assuming I see the Skull Dweller again. I mean, okay, fine, I'll take it. If you ask me, the right pick was the card draw spell, but whatever. There's a complete devotion, which we have one in our board already. So okay, that's our second. Oh man, just like a pocket of blood in my nose. Ugh. Not the best feeling in the world. I mean, sack artifacts, but otherwise it's just a bear. Because that's not a good card either. We haven't seen any Basilica Shepherds. That's a card I would like in this deck. There's a Basilica Shepherd. Behold. I'm not going to first pick it, though. But there's another Bilious Skull Dweller. So yeah, these are... I don't think any of these are going to wheel, but we can only hope. I mean, Phyrexian Arena may be the one that doesn't wheel if I was to take the Skull Dweller. I'm going to gamble. So I'll take the Skull Dweller because we missed out on the last Skull Dweller. I mean, it's just a little 1/1 with Death Touch. But I think for our deck's sake, these are the two cards we want out of this pack. I do want the Arena. But I'm going to bank on Arena wheeling. Just because it's a double black spell. Oh, man. I mean, we can get that first poison counter on. But then we really want this card. Because it's removal. They're both kind of bomby. Although... Oh, man. I like both of them. I'm going to take the Defector Might, but... Ooh. Ooh, those are... like, oh, there's another Skull Dweller. Sweet. I mean, when we go all in on 1/1s with Death Touch... and just get 10 Toxic, right? Right? We already have an Incisor Glider. Just to give us a little more top end, I'm taking the Indoctrination Attendant. Like, let's be real. I have nothing really with Proliferate because I don't have the rats. Other than this Whisper of the Dross and this guy. So, take the second Incisor Glider. Yes! So you take the Signpost in common. It's a Signpost in common. And then, yeah, the one card never wheeled. We don't need the second Complete Devotion. We just don't. Like, these are kind of bad considering how many 1-drops we have, but meh. Unless my hand is, like, just this land and nothing else. Which I'd mulligan anyway. So... this is okay. Like, it should get me. Alright, the Cleansing Rod. So I think that this was one of the packs. But I don't think it was... Well, the Arena pack already wheeled, whichever one it was. So yeah, someone took the Phyrexian Arena, someone took the Basilica Shepherd. Um, so... But I think we're okay with a second Skull Dweller. And we lost the third Skull Dweller. We could have had 4. It is what it is, you know. I'm not going to freak out about it. I'll freak out about the rest of Phyrexian V1 and how this format, I can't seem to figure it out. But maybe it very much is like Kenji Numatanami, who says, like, apparently his strategy for this, like, the key to this format, like, having, you know, I figured it out, oh my god, and I not actually figured it out, but apparently the key is to be on the play and to curve out. Well, we have 1s, we got 2s, and we got 3s. And just a couple 4s and a couple 5s and like 4 4s. I will have to make like 2 cuts. But yeah, because I can play 16 lands with only 2 5-drops and just say the hell with it. The heck with it. I'm not going to play Splash Red for literally 1 card. So... I don't think we necessarily want the Fair Basilica. I mean, it's card draw, but we have to make 1 more cut. It wants us to play another swamp. So it wants 9 and 6. I may just do that. Because it's like, whatever. I'm not... it's more important that we have a swamp early, and then we can see what else we can get ourselves into. And it wants the other Complete Devotion, which is okay. Draws a card, but I don't know. Maybe this... Is the sack a creature better than +2/+2 and draw a card? And this is one of the few proliferates we have. So it can get us over the line because it proliferates twice. I mean, I don't know. I think I can see the argument both ways. But both of these cards at least put a poison counter on if we don't have a poison counter already on. There's something to be said for that too, but let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. If this was paper, I'd play the 41 and say screw it. But alright. Let's try it this way. And if we just O2, then I'll put the Vraska's Fall in. Because 1/1 Death Touch, barring First Strike and barring Trample, can guard us against a fair number of creatures. But, and I say this is the last stream, as the last stream of all, so I'll pay the $20 for another. If I continue my streak of 1 to 2 wins where I need to then buy more gems, yes, I'll pay the damn $20, but I may not necessarily play it tomorrow. This is fine. We're not on the play, so make a note of that. Because remember, Numatanami says, like, that's the way that you solve, that this format is so-called solved, and that you win, is, you know, you have to be on the play. So, well, here we are. We're on the play. We're on the draw, not on the play. So can we get across the line? Because now we can't do anything with that guy. Cool. We're trying to win by Toxic. We're not trying to win by draining them 20 life. Fair. Fair, fair, fair. So that becomes a 4/4. That's hell of annoying. Well. I can't block anyway. I got news for you. So, That's a 2/2. That's a 2/2. The 2 damage wouldn't have made a difference, so. Zoop. Okay. See, ultra aggressive. They're on the play, and there's nothing we can do about it. So here we go. Yeah, we're losing. We had the 1 drop. We didn't have it. We technically had the 2 drop, but it was a combat trick. So, all's fair in love and war. In that sense. I can't do anything with that. So, Which one are you going to bounce? You're going to bounce 1. You're going to make me force block. The block that I'm going to make, so thankfully we didn't cast Infectious Inquiry, I suppose, is probably just going against the Retrofitter and going to 1. And then I can't cast Infectious Inquiry, like, at all. Of course, he's going to defend himself. I'd rather trade. I go to 4. The 1 life, if I was to use the Traxxas Skitterfang for that, is somewhat relevant, but it's one or the other. So well, he hasn't been interested in blocking it, but sure. Let's do it. I have to chump both. Well, actually, it's going to chump there and keep the Incisor Glider alive. But either way, the 4/4 has to be blocked. Cool. I have 2 flyers. Oh my god. Die. I'm sorry, I know that the stupid ass 2/5 is actually the thing that needs to go, but like, we don't know what their hand is, so shrinking that down to a 2/1 is. Even if it becomes a 3/3, like, fine. I'm open to this block. Like, I don't care. I can gain 4 life. Okay. Cool. Like, that's fine. But, like, no. Just no. Lifelink. That couldn't block anyway. Okay. Zoo. Like, I got you this. The 6 poison. That's a 5/5. Yep, 5/5 gets in for 1 extra point of damage, and there's nothing I can do about that. They had an artifact every turn, so it's like you should have killed the Cephalopod Sentry, and then you can just block and kill the 4/4 on the ground. That becomes a 5/5 or a 6/6, and then you're chumping and losing that. You know, I think they just had every answer and it didn't matter. It really didn't matter what we shot down. Like Cephalopod Sentry, I was banking on basically whether there was one or two cards, it doesn't matter that they had in hand. But it's like, okay, yeah, there's a fair number of artifacts in the set, but what are the actual like likelihood that that thing gets so big that it's just like, nothing I can do about it. Opponent goes first again, so we're not on the play. Okay, early poison. We're banking on our getting a couple hits for poison in, because you're not going to block the attendant. If they want to block and kill it, they can. It's got Death Touch. Okay. I'm doing this on purpose, so I'm going to put a plains on top. So we know we're going to draw plains. I can Flensing Raptor and jump it. Okay. Plains. Flensing Raptor. Maybe not the right time to jump it. Maybe you do just Fair Basilica knowing they didn't play anything, but... And then just Screv. Okay. Oh shit. I forget that about this, because now that they're corrupted. Oh. Well, oops. No, it's a Phyrexian creature, so you can tap it for regardless. I'm thinking it's the other, like, the card we have to pay 1 mana to get any color out of it. So, this can't block anyway, but if it boils down to, like, alright, you're gonna lose because you didn't draw the right thing, then okay. Okay. Nope. Because I'm going to put Planar Disruption on the Archfiend to draw us. Like, that's the play. I'm sorry. And they have to draw enchantment removal, or another indoctrination attendant to bounce it back. I don't care. Hell no. It's like, you know what I'm going to play, and I'm going to play it. Perhaps putting it in the graveyard is not wise, but it is what it is. I'd rather play a blocker right now than not play a blocker. Sure. Because the Hive Master is the only thing that can... So, yeah. Yep. Cool. They lose anyway in 2 turns, so... so long as the Death Toucher is the only thing that dies, it drains us for 2. You can grow the crap out of that. I just want to hang on. I just want to play a little cagey. I'm fine playing a little cagey. I can pay 2 life and give it protection. Oh, I can only act... Wait. Oh, because I can't tap. Well played. Well played. Okay. Okay. Vanquish into Eternity, or something silly like that. Nope. Nope. They shouldn't be able to sack it. Oh, or creature. Oh. Well played. So they don't lose the game now. I didn't even think about that. I just thought it was sack artifact. It's a card I don't play that much, so go figure. Annihilating Glare, full cost. Okay. Would you like to sack it? You probably do. But at least they were gonna sack it anyway. So it's one of those things where it's like, fine. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. I take a toxic whether I like it or not, but he gets... Yep. It's not protection, it's just toxic 1 and hexproof. So, sure. I get a might. I'm gonna do that just to make might. 5 poison is, well, I mean, shouldn't be, well, I don't know what's in their hand. But the point is that we're already corrupted, so 5 is not 10. We're now in this zone of, 3 to 9, where you're kind of sort of, well, 3 to 8, I'd say. Once you hit 8, then you gotta, like, just panic, full panic mode. And if they have complete devotion in their hand, then they have complete devotion in their hand, and you attack. And, or I should say 2 complete devotions. 1 would just draw them a card. Against all odds. So they get a creature back and an artifact back. Cool. I'm going to target my own thing. I'm going to target that one. We'll just go with lifelink. And yeah, if you want to block it, you can block it. Doink! Because I prevented the damage, I actually probably shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. Because now I have 3 mites. I still block one thing, and I already know what that one thing is going to be. Done. Didn't cost me any life. You got a chittering skeeter fin. You only have 2 blockers. Okay. Blah. Just target a random dude. Give her flying. Um, and then it's just how do you want to block with those two creatures, but Battlecry should get me over the line. Yep. And then I got one Proliferate, and I had a Complete Devotion too. So, Complete Devotion. Get to do it. Do it now. Do it. Come on, kill me. Kill me. Do it now. If only... I mean, there's... Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of arena that they do just kill you now, but there's also a lot where it's, you know, playing with your food a little bit. But I'm probably one of the worst offenders of that. Because I think this format is more aggressive than I take it to be. And I probably should Leroy Jenkins a lot more. I'm just like, charge, bum rush, go, 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 go. No value for the Cleansing Raptor, but it is still a 2/2. Toxic Flyer. So... I'm gonna anoint with Affliction it. Okay, Spitting Headmaster. Thing. I don't mind replaying it, to be honest. Because then it can jump the Indoctrination Attendant. Because if we can get corrupted online, then I spoke too soon. But yeah, if we can get corruption online, then that's not, too bad. Alas. We got Ruthless Predations into our first poison counter. It's like, what's next? Interesting card sleeves. Never seen those before. We don't... I'd rather corrupt our opponent, so I'm going to. Because then the Vivisection Evangelist can at least just... I mean, this thing, stupid, replaces itself, which is just annoying as all heck, but... I'd rather just eat the combat trick. I'm not doing anything with the Cleansing Raptor. Okay. I'm confident in my ability to get you corrupted. Alright. Let's draw some cards here. Cool. And then... Yep. We got them corrupted. And now, how do they want to block? That's how they want to block. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's kind of silly to do that, but we're at 1 poison, and I want to avoid any sort of weird corrupted shenanigans, so I'm just going to kill the Might. We have removal in hand. And then we don't have to worry about... Well, now we're corrupted anyway, so I was just trying to avoid that. It's just a matter of playing things maybe a little too cagey, a little too safe. Because using it on a Might is a waste of an Annihilating Glare. But yeah, so they get me back for that. I would rather kill a creature than just run out a 4/4. Like, I'm sorry. Now I run out the 4/4. Okay. Death Touch and Indestructible. Well, you played it defensively instead of as a combat trick. I'm at 13. They're at 6 and 5 poison. So 13, 3, 6 and 5. Okay, I go to 4. Oh, land. Oh, land. You silly, silly deck. Giving me all my lands here in a cluster. And watch it give me at least 3 more. And let our opponent get back into this game. No. We haven't played Skitterfang. We haven't played the Battle Dude. I mean, I made this trade, and we can argue about that trade being a mistake when you made it. But, you know, what are you going to do about it? That doesn't do anything, but it does at least make our Pestilent Siphoner 1 power bigger. We just don't want to die to poison, so I think you just take out the Nimrazer Paladin. Combat trick! Okay. Now we're just dead anyway. Like, seriously, like, check that out. Check that out. I think we're dead anyway. Like, I think I would have had to have held the Raptor back. They have to swing all out, I think. I don't know. Maybe they don't have to, but too toxic on us. Because I ain't blocking the head cleaver. Yeah, yep. That proliferates. Oh no, that's 5. Well, no. Excuse me. It's just I have to block with both creatures is all. Because otherwise it's 5 no matter what. Because if I go there, it's 6, and if I go there, it's, you know, so. Yeah, they get to maintain their blocker. I kill that, you proliferate. Yeah. We already played our... I mean, I can draw an Annihilating Glare, I suppose. I can draw Scrap Traps, but Annihilating Glare doesn't do anything. We're at 3. Oh, and you had the removal spell the whole damn time. Now it doesn't matter what we draw, because I was dead anyway. Yeah, so they managed to mana screw their way back into the game, and nothing we could do about that. The only criticism at that point becomes, like, you should have taken the 3 damage from the head cleaver instead of trading off your Flensing Raptor, and then gotten in for the 2 damage, because we lost by exactly them being at 2 and us at 3. But then again, that goes both ways, because that 3 would have left us dead a turn earlier, And then, but the 2 also would have left them dead. So I don't know exactly how that trades. How that works. It's a Phyrexian Golem. So I'm gonna Dune Mover for a swamp. Don't think we have any double. We have the Necrotitan. That would have blocked really nicely. And we got them corrupted. We did take 2 damage off of the spell. I don't care. So whatever you want to trade it off for. Cool. You can tutor up another land. I don't know if that's how I want to use said Dune Mover, but it can. So there's things that it can do. If you want to use your turn to kill the Skitterfang and take 2 to put 1 toxic on me and take 1 back, then like great. Remove an oil counter. I'm just gonna give it lifelink. You passed through, so you didn't really use the Chrome Prowler properly. Okay. It probably should just be a land, but let's not time walk ourselves. We only have a couple, like, literally we only have the 2 5-drops, I suppose, but I'd rather move the Skitterfang, and then it's got full oil counters to do its shenanigans, and take action. You know what? I'm intrigued. I'm just gonna gain life, because, yeah, I want to see how that goes. They have to either put... Yeah, they have to put 1 in front or the other. Cool. I'll hold out. I'm not gonna Annihilating Glare. I didn't expect them to block the Might, just because it's like what would result in sure death, not sheer death, sure death, for one of their creatures. But I expected a double block here. That's why I gave this one lifelink, just because it's like, all right, I'll kill you. Decline. I'm not gonna mess with that, because I'd rather give this guy flying or lifelink or something, and then they're gonna mesmerizing dose it or something too, because we can never be so lucky. Ooh, spicy. Yeah, because then I can make that fly, make 4 might, and I'll get you with toxic, hopefully in a turn or 2. Bit of setup, but it works off. So it pays off sometimes. Works out, pays off. Yeah. It's only our 2nd win. But we were on the play, so I meant to actually record the data, but I haven't. But I think you just win more often on the play than you do on the draw. This format is like you know, play draw, play draw, play draw. You know, um, and then it's be aggressive, but also not too aggressive. This is perfect. We curve out. They're on the play though, so just remember we were on the draw if we lose, because I want to see how this plays out. Not because I'm sitting here like very curious. No, because if they want to draw a card, let them draw a card. Okay. They were gonna draw the card eventually, because it's like, all right, I play this and bop it. Well, that sucks. I mean, for us, that really sucks. So I'm just gonna draw 2 cards then. Screw that. Okay. That frickin' sucks for us. I mean, worst case, I like have to sack a creature and hope that I keep this creature around. Best case scenario, we can get our opponent corrupted and they just play it. Yeah, it's a very good card because it just toxics 2 and deals 4 damage, and there's really nothing I can do about that. Oh, well, okay. That's something. Right. Well, how do we want to play this? Do we want to play Counterspell, and then we have the 2 to pay for Bring the Ending? Or do we just want to say, you know what? I think I'm going to say, you know what? Be efficient with my mana. And if they have it, they have it. If they don't, they don't. And then it keeps the Bane of Bladehold alive. So my guess is they have it because they've been hovering over their mana. Okay. They have a... Ah, okay. So that's what they were debating. Okay, well, we have to take 7 damage then. But we at least have 2 plays because we'll have 5 mana. And that has to count for something. Okay. They can tap us infinitely. But again, we take the 4/4 out of the game. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So infinite tapping is one thing, but there's a reason I'm not doing anything with the Pestilent Siphoner, because what's the point? In that 1 point of damage. Because now it becomes, alright, well, we'll tap to offensively hit you for 3, or I'm going to attack and trade, and you're always going to want to tap down this Necro Titan, I think, with the Immobilizer. I don't think you immobilize the Flensing Raptor just to get in for 3. Yeah, you don't. And I'm okay killing the Chrome Prowler, like, I just don't want... We're at 7, okay? Like, I'm not messing with that. I'm just not. Well... We can make a Might. But... Let me play my Hero Bladehold. My Bane of Bladehold. Again... you get into this situation. It doesn't matter if they tap it down now or later. Okay. No, I think I want the Toxic and over the Might. Because that's 1 point of Toxic. And then I think I'll cast the Dune Mover over the Complete Devotion. We probably don't want the land, but just take it. It's out of the deck. I don't want to mess with it. This is... If they play a land, they can Blue Sun Zenith any of our creatures. Which we don't want. But... Blue Sun's Twilight, not Zenith. Do they have the answers? Because that's how Phyrexia Obi-Wan goes for us on stream. It's 4 creatures to... So that thing can give anything flying. Okay. So you can jump and get in for 3. But you leave yourself... Ooh. Okay. You make it so I have to leave my flyer back. That's all it does. Okay. Target the Dune Mover. Tap down. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of sort of playing the long game when you do what I was doing there, but sure. Dune Mover gets in. Okay. Tick, 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 tick. I believe it's prevent combat damage to players. Yeah, so they still wipe one another out. Okay. I've left my Pestilent Siphoner back in order to block the Oil Gorger Troll if this is a non-creature spell, which they can draw into. And thankfully I drew an Incisor Glider, so I can block it anyway, too. Yeah, you can give something flying. The Necrotitan isn't going to do anything. I've come to that conclusion. Battlecry gives everything +1/+0. On the Crackback, and then Battlecry with the Incisor Glider is very good. Okay, so you get the token. The oil counter, not token, but you get the counter. You're going to bounce the Bane of Bladehold. Okay. And then you're going to make your Troll fly. You're going to draw a card, okay? I may just want to take the damage off this Troll attack. Interesting. Because he knows... Okay. I still think I want to take the damage off the Troll attack. I don't want to get debated into... You know, I make it... You know... I block this time around, and then he makes it flying next turn, and... Ha 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 ha, nothing I can do. Well. Okay. Tap the Necrotitan. Necrotitan's tapped, yes. Put an oil counter on the Skylax, sure. I know what he's going to do. So... so let's... I think I know what our opponent's going to do. The question is... And that gives me some backup. I think the issues are still dead to flying. If they gave it flying. But, sure! Although it would, I think, blow up their own Atmosphere Surgeon if they activate the Silex. Methinks. Because it's all things, I'm pretty sure. Cool! I couldn't block anyway! Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. But, cool! Look at you. You had all the answers. And you proliferated your shit. You want to do the fun play? You have 10 oil counters. You want to sacrifice the filigree Silex? You don't? Well, as a matter of pride. Literally as a matter of pride. Thank you, I'm still dead. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have assumed that they were going to activate the filigree Silex. Maybe I should have kept the incisor glider back. You know, I don't know what's in their hand. So, I'm making a very calculated effort, knowing they're on 5 poison counters. I'm going to attack this way. I'm going to get a Mite. The Mite's going to be deadly next turn. That's how this is going to happen. And, you know, they're on so many creatures. We're pretty much dead. Yeah. Excuse me for basically making that decision. The right or wrong decision, I can't say, but, you know, that's just the nature of it, is I said to myself, hey, if I do this, we pretty much have lethal next turn. Let's do it. Awesome. Lethal with toxic next turn, because they then have to block. So it's like, okay. Cool. So. Toxic you out. No. Okay, like I said, we're not gonna go anywhere, but I'll at least give you the benefits of the doubts here. Alrighty then. Alright. Minor little mute there. And minor into a minor unmute. Let's see what else, comes our way here. I meant to fill up my water. I still kind of mean to fill up my water, but whatever. I'll have some crinkly snacks instead. Ow. Oh, hurt my knee this morning. So here are the ASMR crinkly snacks. I think red's the one color we're not even considering, just by default. But I took the Thrun. We're not. We'll see how open green is. I don't think it is. But Thrun is just unbeatable. I mean, it's indestructible unless they're in green and they have the pieces to, because it can only be targeted by green shit. I guess something bigger than Thrun can block Thrun, but 5/5 or trample, it's indestructible. Like, I don't know. Well, you tell me how you beat that. Original Thrun had hexproof. This one just says, oh, he can't be targeted by anything non-green. But he's hexproof aside from green spells or abilities. But we don't know how many. We don't have the signpost and commons. We certainly don't have the 2-drops to back up a green-white deck. Non-green spells. Or abilities, yeah, from non-green sources. And they made it 2 separate clauses for whatever reason. Who knows? Maybe we're Abzan, but not the good kind of Abzan. Honestly, I'm just going to take that. I really hate that card. It's just a 3/1 that, yeah, anytime you cast a multicolored card, your opponent draws a card. Anytime your opponent casts a multicolored card, you draw a card. There aren't very many multicolored cards in this set. They're all at uncommon. I'm pretty certain. Or rare. Common or rare. Because it's like Venzer, it's the Void Wing Bat thing. The equipment. The double strike equipment. Jorkadeen. Or Kajim, or however you... But him... I mean, Kaito as a planeswalker. Nihiri as a planeswalker is the other one. So Nihiri, Kaido, Avenger, the Void Reaver thingamabop. The two oil counter guys in green red. Luca. Luca is. I'm just having fun, I guess, entertaining myself going through this list. But my point remains relevant. I actually think, honestly, if I lose the Skrell's Hive, I'm fine. Planer's Disruption can hit artifacts, so that one can't. That's what I was reading. Honestly, I probably want the draw land, but I don't really want the equipment. I don't like the equipment. Yes, every time you attack, you get a mite. The mites can't block. They win you the game if you have the Skrell's Hive or whatever. I passed the Skrell's Hive. We'll see if Norn's Wellspring or the Skrell's Hives come back. There were two Norn's Wellsprings and one Hive. But I never win with Hive. Is it a good card? Yes. But I've never won with it. Once, maybe twice. But all it does is cost you life, make a mite. The mite doesn't do anything in and of itself. Because the mite can't block. We're split between black and green. We've taken enough white that we've kept the color itself fairly open, or blocked from others. But like, you know, a lot of the synergistic white cards have gone to us and not to others. But I think the Norn's Wellspring would have shown up by now, so it didn't. So I don't know. But yeah, maybe we are like Abzan with like 3 or 4 forests. I don't know. But the like 4 swamps, 4 forests, and call it a day on everything else. Vraska's Fall would get around Thrawn. One of the few cards that would. Take the second Scrap Trap. Take the Head Cleaver. Plague Nurse. And take the Corrupted 2/2. So yeah, the Hive and both Wellsprings never wheeled, so someone else was definitely in white. And they made it work. We got the Shepherd on a wheel, but oh well. We're back playing Orzhov again. Orzhova. I'm not opposed to some of these things, but so be it. And you know what? That's how I'm going to justify playing 16 lands. I think there's an element of the pairing system in Arena where it's just like, is your deck really bad? Well, we'll pair you against really bad decks. Is your deck really good? We'll pair you against really good decks that have like 20 Mythic rares. Well, what a shit draw, but thankfully we have a Merc Convert, and if the Merc Convert dies, then the Merc Convert dies. But we did lose that last game, and we were on, remember, I said make a note of the fact that we're on the draw and they're on the play, and we lost. So, it was close, but we lost. Well, I wanted to ramp into the Head Cleaver, or the Hover Wings, but I think I may just need to spend 2 life to eat the Armored Scrap Forger. Yeesh. I may need to spend the 2 life to eat the Gix Raptor, too. I'll play the Head Cleaver out. And let's see what happens. I mean, I draw single planes, and this hand becomes a little nuts. But because it's like, oh, it just hit me with the with the Raptor, and then I just jump 2 toxic things, and let's go. I don't care about that. I mean, Death Touch is Death Touch, but I don't care about that. Well, I deal 4 damage to myself, then. I'm gonna end up dealing like 8 to myself when this is all said and done. Whoa! I wasn't gonna do anything with it, but you bounce the token. Tear rolls down my cheek, because it's not sequenced in a way that you can proliferate on your Scrap Forger. Now you can proliferate on your Scrap Forger. I'm surprised you didn't swing at the Death Toucher first, because then I would have given you all the toxic value. The little toxic value that you wanted. Okay, let's get us a planes. We desperately need one. And one planes is just that. But I've kept the skies clear. For hashtag reasons. I'm not going to block the Ichor Split Basilisk. You know, awesome. You got a 6/6 with Trample. I ain't messing with that. If I can avoid it, I will. It works out. The mana... Oh, the mana. The mana does work out the same. So do I go to 12 to jump this guy? Or do I... I mean, I could have just played the Apostle of Invasion. No, I don't think I can, because then I'm on a 2-turn clock. I mean, granted, I put that 5th poison counter on them, but... but it's like, yeah, I don't know if 5 poison counters... For us to be dead in 2 turns just to put the 5th poison counter on doesn't seem worth it. Granted, our whole board has Toxic, so there's something to be said for that. So they have to, like, basically block everything. Oh, fun, 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 fun. Fun, 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 till your dad takes a T-bird away. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Yeah, Beach Boys. Well, so there's 3 blockers. 2 have to go into the Head Cleaver. And unfortunately, they'd probably block the Sentry with the Death Toucher and get their Raptor back. I don't know if swinging all out is worth it. And swinging with just the dude, I don't think is worth it either. So let's kill ourselves, because we couldn't draw planes, and we actually had Dune Mover, the 1 planes that we have. And I do not care if you want to make your Blisterosa huge. Okay. Well played. I can do 2, 4, 6, but I just need to put something in the way. And that's where if I had the Convert, but the Convert only has a toughness of 1. That would be a lot better. So I have to block just by nature of the damage that I've taken. So I'm thinking I do that, and if they have a spell, they have a spell, because I'm dead anyway. Like, I open myself up to that. Yeah, here comes the combat trick. But whatever. Just cast the damn combat trick. Thank you. Alright, good job. So, we were dead anyway, yeah. We dealt too much to us. It wouldn't have mattered if they were at the 5 poison or not. Like, we couldn't draw the planes that we needed. Well, it's because you went down to 16 lands. No, it's because Arena is stupid when you go down to 16 lands. It just is like, yeah, I'm either going to flood you, or I'm never going to give you a land. Because the way that we've decided to run this algorithm of auto shuffler and whatnot is all the lands are going to be clustered somewhere in your deck. And you're either going to see that cluster, or you're never going to see that cluster. And so we got in for a decent amount of early damage. Lucky us. And, like, that's the extent of it. Is we only wanted... I take the token. I don't want to take the halberd because I believe it for Mirrodin's itself back. When it enters the battlefield. Because, yeah, I believe for Mirrodin's an enter the battlefield trigger. But the other reason why I didn't, you know, it's like, they're still left with the 2-2, and the 2-2 will block this 1-4 all day. All day. Well, at some point, I should have... I should play a head cleaver, but I don't think it matters that much. Like, I'm sitting here saying, well, I can do two things, one turn or one thing another. I'm not playing mana efficient, but I don't think it matters that much. Like, I will absolutely give you the fact that I'm playing very inefficiently with our mana, but when I should be, like, head cleavering. But it's just like, okay. Yeah, okay, they want the token back. That's fine, and it's the cheapest equipment. Sure, you want to kill it? Sure. I give you the trade. Like, I'm not giving you the trade. I don't think we did get an Incisor Glider. It just didn't... The draft didn't work out that way. I mean, Untapped.gg doesn't rate that card highly. But I've been got by it a couple times now. But you make it a 4-2, or you want to make that one a 4-2? A 3-3. So do you want a 3-3 or a 4-2? 3-3. My life total doesn't matter. So, honest to goodness, I need these creatures to come at me. I also need some complete devotions or something to, you know, combat trick. Otherwise, they're just sitting here and doing absolutely nothing. So, yeah. Well, it's because you threw your Flensing Raptor away. I got 3 of them. I got 3 Flensing Raptors and 3 Sheldred's Head Cleavers. So they killed the Head Cleaver. Great. But... Great. And they killed another one. So they're turning through them quite nicely. No, I'm not incentivized to really do anything here. We don't have a strong deck, so... You could move, spend your turn, move all that equipment over there, but just have a giant token. Get in for everything. We have 2 ossifications. I got an anointed, so there is an anointed by with procession. Yeah, anointed procession. Strong removal spell. I put in the skull bomb. I really don't like. They're overthinking it. I have a 3-3 with first strike. If I move it over here, I get the 4-4 with first strike and trample. Yes, that's the way to do it. then I have him on a 2-turn clock. And if I do the math this way, you know, I can generate 1.21 gigawatts of electricity and send Marty McFly back to 1985. Because I just keep paying, you know, for equipment this way or that way, and so be it. Ha-ha! You know, it's like, thanks, Speed Racer. You've, you know, figured it out. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But they seem to think, like, oh, if I do this and that, and ooh, ooh, just, ooh, and what if, and if I do it this, ooh, then I get in for 3 to maximize my damage. Oh, and I managed to kill the one creature. Yes. And maybe that's what this format requires, but you know what? I just don't care. I needed a flyer anyway to block, and the 4/4 has first strike and trample, so like that's not good. And neither is the alternative, so like it doesn't matter what we draw. It needs to be a flyer. Are you gonna volt charge me? But then why would you volt charge the creature, not my face? If you're hovering over the creature like that. See, like, what are they doing? Just pass the fucking turn. Okay, you sacked an equipment to kill the creature. I guess? Because it's got a butt of 4, and I just need to trample 1 damage through now. But look at that. Look at that glorious draw. Like, that's everything we hoped and wanted it to be. And are they going to take forever again? No, because I'm going to concede. But I bet you if we gave them that turn with no cards in hand and us being and no defenders, they still would have turned that, what should have been 3 seconds, into 10. I bet you. This one's equally as bad, but you know what? I'm on the play, so let's just lose with dignity. And let's see what the next draft brings. I have too many... We're going to say I have too many 3-drops to make this draft functional. And then no plains. Or no swamps, excuse me. Removal spell, and then I can't do anything unless I draw a swamp. Cool. Flashing it in doesn't really help us. I mean, I suppose I'll do it, because then I can at least cast the other Flensing Raptor. Damage doesn't matter, we're trying to win through Toxic, so sorry. Sorry, not sorry, it doesn't matter. They have us on 5 turns, we have them on pretty much the same clock. Cool. Oh, so we're fucked. Unless I draw a swamp, we're fucked. the sentry's never going to get in, and they either, get it back or they don't. But, like, they have Annihilating Glare or something to get it back. Sure. Anoint with Affliction. I said Procession. I don't know why. But I think that is a card. That must be a card. Like, why my brain is just like, no, that's not a card. I don't know why. Well, never drew the swamp. Attacking takes them to 6, and then we're just on the same page. And then I have things that can block, but I don't think it matters too much. So, we just needed a removal spell that we couldn't draw. So, sure. Awesome. You know what? Awesome. And it's a good thing, I guess, I held the blocker back, but we're one proliferate from death anyway. I think we're just dead, actually. I don't think it matters. Because that's 4, and 2 of which they need to be blocked by 2 creatures. And the 2 that need to be blocked by 2 creatures have Toxic 2 instead of Toxic 1. So it doesn't matter. Like, that's 11. I have to go there, and it still is 11. So it doesn't matter where I go because I didn't draw Bloody Swamp. So, well, you shouldn't have attacked. It doesn't matter. This format is fucked. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like once you get to Platinum, you're just not going anywhere. And we can talk all about, reading the seat that you're in. So, like, 2 of those picks I probably shouldn't have made, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that deck was fine. And maybe it should have been Abzan. I'm taking Thrawn. Because, again, the same philosophy that I made in the last thing is he's kind of unbeatable. I want the Cinder / Ravager to come back, too. Like, all 3... Well, not that one. But 3 of these are all first pickable. It's going to be Thrawn. But, I mean, you tell me. You tell me where I went wrong. You kept a hand with 3 planes. Okay. I had 8 swamps. What are the statistics of that? I believe it's something like 75. Or not 75. Sorry, that's too high. Erase. I believe it's something like 20, 25-ish percent. 8 out of 40. As a matter of fact, I believe it is 20%. Because 40 divided by 5. Or divided by 8. Sorry, I did that backwards. Is... Because 5 goes into 40, is what I'm saying. So it's something like 20%. And 3 of those... So it's less than 40, to be honest, because you have 7 cards in your hand. So it's more like... you're starting with 33 or 32, depending on player draw. And then you're doing that math that way. But 8 goes into 32 exactly 4 times. And I believe, again, that's actually 25%. So that's even a higher percentage. Now, look, I'm just doing loose mental math. Don't get me wrong. So send all the criticism my way, and that math is wrong. Of course it's wrong. But I'm just giving a rough estimate as to, like, statistically, I would like to think that I would have hit a swamp in that time slot and then been able to anoint one of those head cleavers off the battlefield because they were causing us issues. Okay, you shouldn't have ossified the head cleaver. Well, the head cleaver becomes two things. So, in that sense, getting that off the battlefield might have been the way to go. I'm just gonna take the flesh cutter. I mean, I like the completed by devotion, but I'm gonna take the flesh cutter. Like, I mean, we're gonna be in green regardless. I mean, you can see here's our pile of green cards. Oh, I unplugged my computer among frustration. I can see like the screen dim because the battery's getting low, and it's like, oh right, I unplugged my laptop. Right. There, we're back to life, sort of, and another complete devotion. So we got a complete anyway. It's just like, oh, it's Elspeth fighting Johnny. Because I was like, is that just a random Mirren? And it's like, no, that's a Johnny. And Johnny's axe has been modified to be Elish Norn Phyrexian. I wonder how effective that axe would be. So we take you. Like, I guess we're toxic with Thrawn as an alternate win condition, maybe. It's starting to rain outside. The battle chair came all the way back. That is surprising. Like, so the oil guy probably went pick 2 next to us. But the fact that a Mantis and the battle chair came back is a little sus. I'm just storing it this way. You can see it. I'll store it in the proper way, but so it's all visible and accurate. So there's the green cards. White is, right now that's the direction we probably go as for our second color, but we'll see how the other packs shape up. My knee. I think it's just a bruise. It wants to be stiff. But a stiff knee is one thing. I just don't move around as much as I should, but I don't work as much as I should. Meh. If I pass the blue land, I'm helping somebody. Probably not. A cheap toxic creature would be good. These are both very good. And then we're passing off the Ravager to someone else. Neither card is going to wheel. I mean, you know it's going to wheel out of this pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 the land for sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The splitter. Like, these are all going to be the next picks. Someone's going to take the finisher too. So I'm going to take the planar disruption, but I want that predation too. I mean, that's the cheapest toxic creature we've seen so far, so I'm going to take it. In our colors, there is that black one over there. The Pestilent Siphoner, but, yeah, let me specifics. Okay. I don't think I'm going to see Charge of the Mites again, but, it's okay. But I also don't think I'm going to see the Basilica Shepherd again, so it's okay. Oh, never mind. Well, then I take the other Basilica Shepherd, and we're on 5 mana. Five drops. There's only the one creature with oil. The Complete Devotions draws cards. Carnivorous Canopy is okay. There is a Ruthless Predation, so I'm going to take the Ruthless Predation. I mean, we have a lot of 5s, but 4 5s, but 8 2s. So, I don't know. You tell me. Well, blue. I'm gonna take the convert. Like, this is good. I don't know. I mean, it allows you to be funky with your planar disruptions, but convert with considering the high end of our curve versus the low end of, like, we're just 2 and 5 really, nothing in between. But he can at least get us to 4 or 5 quicker at the expense of 2 life. So, like, do I want to rely on it as a ramp piece? Not really. But, and like, I do probably want an Oil Gorge Troll at some point, but just because it's card draw. But the Complete Devotions are card draw. It's just not as good as blue card draw, because it's only 1 card. Well, maybe it was raining and it was just a quick, because I don't hear anything now. Oh, I guessed wrong. So this is that pack. I said, so 4 of the things I said that would wheeled. The injector didn't, and I'm going to take the injector. It gives something toxic. It can also just give the stalker a bigger butt. Because she's all about that base, no trouble. And toxic and infect are 2 different mechanics. They do not stack. You can stack toxic on toxic by, if you give something toxic 1, so it would then be a toxic 3, 2-drop, and pretty good, because, like, ends the game very quickly. But, doesn't work in the, like, you can't give that to an infect creature, and then, it would have 2 separate instances of infect. Which I guess is still 2 infect tokens, or poison counters, but just works differently. Well, I don't know. I took the land, okay, because I psyched myself out of it, but then I psyched myself back into it, and welcome to my thought process of, like, this is good, but it's also not good. If the glider comes back, if we see glider, we want to take it. And here he's okay, but here he doesn't really do anything. I think I'd rather the Justicar or the Cultivator. We're not in red, first and foremost, but all she does is, she brings a creature or equipment back. And again, we're not in red, so be it. Planar Devotion. I've never drafted Geth. I've lost to him. Because if you have enough big creatures, he just kind of goes and, well, I mean, there's the... So this is good for whoever's in red-white, but guess what? Whoever's in red-white, we're taking a lot of your white cards. I'm open to that. I'm open to that. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I'm open to the Vanish into Eternity. I mean, there isn't a Hiri floating around. That's the other thing I got. But Arena offers the convenience of draft, so I can't complain, about like, oh, paper versus Arena. Like, the stores around here don't offer draft There's a decent amount of them. Stores, that is. But they don't really do draft on Fridays. They do modern and other formats. Yeah, I think I just have a bruise. You can whether you can hear the inflection, change of inflection in my voice. It's like, yeah, I can stand on it. So I don't think like it's probably just a sprain or something, or a contusion. Like, welcome to me hurting myself. Oh no, it is raining outside. So that's fun for the dog. He can't go out now. Without his rain jacket on. I gotta get chips out of my car. I think did it auto pick? I wasn't paying attention. But I don't see any change in our. So no, I don't think it did. Well, do you want proliferate spider or do you want first strike stupid thing? I thirsting roots proliferates. No, don't auto pick that, please. Equipped creatures gain indestructible. Well, take that, Red Drafter. I'm taking your barbed batter fist from you. Play Naya here. Got the crappy ball. And that's your monkey. You gotta play with the dog. Get it! Yeah! It's in the bag. Look at the bag. There you go. Did you find it? Oh, it must have gone underneath the table. Maybe it's underneath the table, Bears. Oh, no, there it is. There's your ball. There's your ball. Bears, get it. Give it. Okay, fine. I'm not going to play with you if you don't give me the ball. You got to give me the ball, Bears. Talking to the dog. Barry the dog. He doesn't want to give me the balls. Give me the balls. Oh, now he drops it, but it's too late now. New, add timestamps to stream. No, minor misstep is no intention of being played. Swooping Lookout, Mandible Justicar. I mean, I like the way that those cards play together. But is it reliable is the question. You gotta play the Ruthless Predation, you gotta play the thingy, we got 15 creatures. Yeah, we probably are cutting. Let's just lose with dignity. Hmm. various sleeves. There actually should be some more secret lair sleeves in here than made it in here. Sure. Signify that we're playing Selesnya here. And further signify that we're playing Selesnya here. And that's how we'll signify toxic, sure. By playing the frog. Swooping Lookout. Skull Bomb. Just to care. Let's do the Flesh Cutter, and then we can hang on to the Zealot's Conviction. I know that maybe we should play the other Complete Devotion, but I mean, I don't know. I think two's enough, and you can combat trick your opponent like crazy, but unless we have the right toxic creatures out or things like that. Like, this is god awful. Like, this is the hand I shouldn't keep, but for the love of the game. Double green, double green, double green. I needed to draw it anyway, so that I could get the planar disruption. Sorry, I guess we do want to get corrupted. Oh, well played. I see, they're gonna just might us out. Yeah, sure, I'll draw a card then. Hey, it's Arthron, baby! And it's every time a creature dies, we lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. Okie dokie, artichoke. I guess I still go after the flyer. With no real... Because we're on a 5-turn clock. Like, I gotta block some things. We're dropping frames again. The fun of we've hit that magical time of day. I just as easily could cast the Throne, but that's the, you know, then we got kind of two things on the battlefield, so to speak. And that are more effective than a, because this is just another 4/4, but it's a 4/4/5 just because it has Toxic 3.